appreciate your time, and could you walk with us your experiences with Baba? And firstly, I would like to ask, how do you come to know Baba?
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to participate in this interview. Baba's actually came to my life sometime in 1983. A photo was passed to me, but I didn't take the interest in pursue the matters until 1996, 97. Now, of course, 97, I not even the side follower, but I joined a group to come to, went to Puttapati. But before that, in 96, something happened to my life. My elder son's in standard 6. He have this child rheumatism. And the doctors didn't warn us, but doctors say the pain of this child rheumatism will leave the joint and attack the heart. This is something I remember until today. But he didn't actually warn us that the child rheumatism will relapse. In Form 3, the child rheumatism came back to hit my son again. That was early in the morning, 4 o'clock. We quickly sent my elder son to the hospital, which is Lamongan Hospital. And he was hospitalized for about a month. The child rheumatism is very, very funny because in the morning, he is perfectly normal person. Only at night, the fever will come, the pain will come. Even the doctor also can't understand. And until the last moment, the doctor asked me whether should they give a very high dosage of antibiotic to my son. So after giving the dosage, 2 or 3 days, my son recovered. But my son had to went through taking the penicillin for about, from that age, that means from Form 3 until age about 19, penicillin every day. And after he graduated, no more taking the penicillin. Now, facing with these problems, at that time, of course, my mom knew about it. My mom also tried to give us advice what to do. But one day, one of the Sai sister normally went to to visit my mom in Alustar. So she shared her experience with my mom's about Sai Baba's miracle. So my mom said, why don't you give a try? And so coincidentally in 1997, this Sai sister, they planned to visit Puttapati in 97. So my mom said, want to join or not? So I said, why not? At that time, we not even a Sai follower. That actually sort of gave us a chance to know Baba. The sister actually advised us to prepare some letters, and we managed to myself prepared one, my son, my wife, and a few friends, which they passed the letter to us. So all in all, I think I got 5 letters in my hands. So there is a sort of like a responsibility, must hand the letter to Swami. I remember that whole trip, we were there 6 or 7 days. And no chance to hand the letter to Swami. So what I'm going to do, I asked the 2 sisters, and the 2 sisters say, you should go around the main gate, Ganesha, 108 times, until one day is one of these days you are able to hand the letter to Swami. So I performed going around the Ganesha 108 times for 2 days. So 3rd day, actually, I managed to hand the letters to Swami. And I was lucky to hand to him and also able to sort of touch his hand.
Do you have eye contact with him?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How do you feel when you got that eye contact with him?
it's joy, it's joy. But feeling the Swami hands is very soft, it's very soft. It's like touching cotton. But of course, my wife and my kids are more luckier than me. They are first times they are not a Sai follower, and yet they have a chance to do Paramaska. Very lucky.
Very fortunate.
Very fortunate. They are very fortunate. I say he's been cured and blessed by Baba because being not a Sai follower, and he's managed to have the Paramaska on Swami's feet. So I believe that Swami have taken away his sickness from there.
That's very good. That's very good.
That's blessing by Swami. And the observation I have in the Kuan Hall is actually every time when Swami walk in to the hall, the hall was very quiet. But prior to Swami walking into the hall, it's very noisy. You have birds noise, you got people talking. So, but as soon as Swami walk inside, it's just quiet and very peaceful.
Silent,
peaceful, really peaceful. Not even the birds, no. The birds also keep quiet. There's something, that kind of phenomenon, how to say, I mean, bird also knows it. For the number of days I stay in Puttapati, the word to describe is peace. It's just peaceful. Nobody disturbed. During the times I came back joining the Sai movements, when we moved from Burgos to the Falim NED centers, we just sort of followers, and not much activity we involved, but only thing is we participated in the every weekend bhajans. Right? So there are some activities like they do organize for events, we join to help as well. Until the time when I was elected to take out the post of treasurer, I think probably it's 1999, 2000. Year 2000, there is a convention, Penang conventions. So we are heavily involved in the planning prior to the 2000s. Prior to 2000, and the responsibility is actually given to the NED to organize the event. And the chairmen, myself, and other center, we group together to prepare for the SaiCon events. The 2000 SaiCons give me the chance to join on the plannings of the whole events. Eventually, the whole SaiCon we managed to have a surplus fund of 50,000. On the same year itself, which is 2000, one day I was watching the TV, which is the National Geography program, and the program was showing that there is a group of African tribes actually doing the religious rituals, and they are drinking cow's blood. The cow is still alive actually. And when I saw the scenes, in my heart, I say it's very cruel. So, but I still continue watching until when the camera shoot on the cow's face where the cow's crying. The next day we have Bhajan's day, and after Bhajan we have satsang. And one of the Sai brothers, Dr. Chan, sharing the story on the satsang. And again, that story also something to do with cow crying. I quite immediately, I would say, the next day I turned vegetarian, which I think something I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe it. It's the only thing is become a sort of like the suffering of the cows. That touched my compassionate heart. That should be no killings. So that's why I turned into vegetarians. So from this from the joining of the 1997 until 2000, there's a period of 3 years. There's a Swami's really wanted to transform me to be a vegetarian, which I myself also cannot believe it actually. Until today, a lot of people asking why you want to be a vegetarian. But being a vegetarian, looking at it in my business, we need to entertain people. So after being vegetarians, a lot of this, I would say unnecessary entertainment is no more already. A lot of people are saying that you need to have entertainments to roll in the business, which is not true actually. That's not true. It's actually any sort of business or we do, it's very much of responsibility. It's a responsibility we have. You have to deliver. You have to do it. You have to do it. So after 2000, then subsequently we do go to Puttapati. The next 2 years, I think it's 2003 and 2005. I remember it's 2005. We joined the American groups. They have the Western groups. They have the Christmas choirs. So we joined. When we rise up, we sit inside the Kuan halls. Actually, I was sitting beside the pathway where Swami used. So I managed to have eye-to-eye contact very, very close. And Swami passed through, we have eye contact. When I look at the Swami eyes on that day, Swami eyes is red. I do not know why. At times I really do not know why. So after we have the Christmas day, the next day we move on to Bangalore, and then we continue our journey for our tour to Mysore. When I stay in Mysore hotel and we switch on the TV, and there's a lot of flood happen. There's actually tsunami happened in Sri Lanka. And the next day, when I switch on the TV again, is reporting that Penang also been hit by tsunami. My understanding at that time, probably why Swami eyes was red, it could be actually he is shouldering the debt problems himself. That's my conclusion, but whether it is or not, it's not for me to conclude that. I was very fortunate to witness another Swami materialization acts using his hand during darshans. On that day, Swami walked past our row and stopped just 2 rows from where I was. He stopped and had a conversation with his devotees. After that, he materialized rice screen by circulating his palm in the air and handed onto the devotees' palms. At the same time, Swami then sprinkled extra grains of rice still in his hand to the surrounding devotees and followers. Some of the rice grain did drop around and in front of us. Everyone rushed forward to pick the rice grain, and I was lucky to pick some 4 to 5 grains too on the floor. Very surprised. Those grains were still warm, and it emits a strong vibhuti fragrance. Penang State decided to do an event which is vegetable distribution to the poor. About 40 families in Butterworth. That was in 2005. We carry out that event until today. Seva is very important in Sai moments. The teaching itself in doing seva, not only sort of you are giving happiness, helping people, but it's the joys you're actually getting from there. Really, that kind of joys which I don't think so money you can buy. Now this project also sort of expanded to another communities. So there are 2 now we are doing. There are two all in all, add together, I think benefited 60 families.
Oh, that's very good.
And all those vegetables, we don't need to come out with money to buy. Those are the wholesaler people, they know us. After all these years, they know us. We go there, they just pack and give to us. Very kind of them. But of course, sometimes when the vegetable is low, we have to come out our own pocket money to buy. So otherwise, we know they are waiting there. The transformations in Seva, I would say the important part is very much in not only helping people, it's killing our own bad behavior, especially the ego part of it. In Puttapati, what I observed, Swami have done a lot of projects, real life, he wants us to follow. Swami is God himself, he can actually perform those things. For us, it's not to say we can't, but we have to organize it. Looking at what Swami is doing in Puttapati, like from school to hospitals, to water projects, and also serving the communities. All those, you need money and people to do it. It's not easy. And this what Swami is doing is actually, he personally lead us to say, okay, we should more or less follow this path. So out of so many, he has shown us which path we want to take. It's up to us. So all these are seva. Whatever project we want to do, we have to do it within our means. Important is within the heart. You must have the heart to do it. Otherwise, it's like, take for example, what we are doing to deliver the vegetable, whether rain or shine, we still do it. You can't say, today ready, I have to go. Because people are waiting there.
When Baba is in physical form and now Baba is not.
To what I personally feel that Baba's physical form is not important. What Baba have left over, there's so many of these, you can say, literatures, evidence on what he have done. It's good enough to teach us that we should follow this path in the spiritual life. Now, of course, looking at, there's so many sages and what they call spiritual reliever coming to this world. They come and go, right? So it's basically what a lot of religions are practiced now is basically it's formless, right? We are lucky to have a God here walking on earth, and of course today he's no more here, but he will come back. He definitely say he will come back. So we just wait for it. He will come back. So the form and formless to us, being a Sai followers, to me I look at it's not important. It's what Swami want us is to transform. To transform to be more humans.
So who is Sai Baba to you?
Sai Baba to me is, I think, looking at it is, he's my teacher. He's also my parents, and a lot of times if I have problems, I will sit down and talk to him, communicate. I know Baba is behind, is helping us. Why I say that is, of course, in our business, in the business I'm doing, we are subjected to a lot of risks. And many times, like for example, I can share with you all is actually during the 1997 financial crisis. Practically, I completed all my project. That didn't happen, right? And even like after that, some what they call the shortage of materials. Our project is just over. So all these things happens. Yeah, you can say coincidence, but to us it's his doing actually. He's helping us. What Baba is doing to the mankind, I can see is all evidence everywhere. Right? So we should hold dear to it.
Saram.
Saram.